It's working. Okay, it's working on kick. Live. That's not right. It's working. Wait, working on kick. Okay, turn the sound off of that. That's not right. Watch now, and I gotta turn the sound down. And then let's, okay, so now that's down. Where's the sound on here? There we go. Okay. Let's go here. We'll leave that like that. Oh wait, I gotta go to Restream chat. Okay. So now let's go over here. Test. Test. And more test. Okay, that's cool. That's all working. Okay, let's start lunch. Got the Checkers cam. Checker, how are you doing? How you doing, buddy? Are you okay? All right. Now, let's go. I don't need that, but I do need this. Okay. Okay, we're gonna make rabs today. I hate to start up too. Probably pop my breaker. How should I do this? I gotta boil the raviolis. I gotta make the sauce, and I gotta make the meat. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the meat first. Then I'm gonna cook them. Then I'm gonna boil the ravs. Or I don't boil them very much. I like them fairly raw. And then I'll dump this out into a bowl, which will fit. That should hold a pound of beef or Italian sausage. Okay, so let's start with this. Got Kroger Sweet Italian. Sausage. I think it's got both pork and beef in it. Okay, that's done. I need this. And then I'm going to need this. So we'll start the induction stove. Sure we will. What is going on here? Okay. We'll start it on 4. Okay. Let me try clicking on this. I'm going to try clicking on it from here. Opening a new link. Right, that's not working. Explore. Okay, that's not working. Why am I not going to the map? I'll have to work on that later. Okay. All right. Let's get jalapeno, green pepper, and onion. Oh boy, why is that rotten? Might not be rotten, but it doesn't look good. Okay, so that's got to get used up. I like a lot of onion in my spaghetti sauce. So we're going to have to use this up. That was the fuel tank, buddy. It's getting hot out. So the fuel tank is expanding. That's why it pops. Okay, so we'll move this. And we'll move this. And then we're going to do this. Ooh, that's getting kind of slimy. Still smells good.
Every knot 475.
How you doing? Oh, Checkers is gonna be barking. Yeah, how you doing,
Knot
Brad?
475.
How you doing?
Do you remember me?
I do.
Knot 475.
I remember
Remember me?
Yeah, I remember you. Checkers. Let me turn off the sound on this. How you doing? I'm making lunch. Checkers. How are you? Can you see me okay this way? Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? Badrinath, can you hear me? Doing good. I moved my boat. I'm at a different marina and lake now. It's okay, Checkers. It's okay, buddy. I can't hear you talk. Oh, okay, good. So on the screen, I've got my camera here for making lunch, and then I've got the checkers cam. That's my camera pointing at the dog, although he's really close to it right now, so you can't really see him too good. So I'll just put that back, because when he goes back and lays down, it'll be shining on him. And then in the center is my live scope for fishing. So what you're looking at is a view behind the boat. So when you see those you'll be able to watch the fish. There isn't any there now. There's some up right by the top. There's a great big fish coming in right there. Can you see him? So you'll be able to see fish coming in and out of that view. So I'm going to take this and move it over here. I'm going to see if I can could you post something again, Badranath? I want to see if I can, I want to be able to watch chat on my phone. Okay, so we'll start cutting up onions. I'm cooking sausage. I'm making raviolis. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. It's like a dish. It's like pasta with cheese inside of it. Okay. Put that on there. Okay, good. I can watch chat. I can watch chat over here on the phone, or I can watch it here on my computer. No, it's not infrared. It's just like an underwater camera, and it's not infrared though. It looks like it's infrared because it's all red, but it's not. I'm not real sure what to call it. It's not infrared though, I don't think. Yeah, so I have it set up on the back of my boat for fishing. Okay, so let's cut up some onion here. I got to get another cutting board. See, this is actually a cutting board that I cover this up. So when I'm not cooking, the cutting board comes down here, so I have counter space. But the problem is, I need cutting board sometimes before I start the stove, but if I need to cut something after I've started the stove, I don't have a cutting board. So I got to get another one. Okay, good. So this is called, well, I haven't left on my long journey yet. My long journey is going to be a year, but I haven't left yet. I'm on a lake in Texas right now. So this morning I was out fishing and sailing, and I was out for about 4 hours. But the long journey that I'm going to go on, which I haven't left yet, is going to be a year. So partially what I'm doing here now is like practicing for the long journey. These are sweet onions. You can kind of eat these raw because they're not very hot. Click on that link once and see if you can see where I'm at. That should show you a view from above. Let me know if it works. And I think you'll be able to zoom out and you'll be able to see where I'm at in the United States. So this meat that I've got in here it's not sausages where they look like a sausage. It's just sausage meat before they put it in the casing. And it's really good in like a spaghetti, or what I'm making today is raviolis. In fact, I better get them out of the freezer. This is my freezer. The raviolis are froze, but they'll thaw out. Where do I want to put those? Put them right there. And then I keep my glass of water in the freezer. Because it's 90 degrees out, and I've got a little air conditioner that's running over here, but it doesn't really keep up. So by late afternoon, it's going to be really hot in here. So this is a jalapeno pepper. I love these things. They're hot if you eat them raw, and they're even hotter if you eat the seeds. But what I do is I cut the seeds out of them, and then I usually cook them a little bit. Then they're not quite so hot. Can you see the plate very good where I'm cutting? Yeah, not bad. I'll put that there. So I'll cut the seeds out of these. So if you live in Texas, you pretty much got to eat jalapenos. It's like a vegetable here. People in Texas put jalapenos in everything. So what I usually do is I cut it in half, then I slice it sideways, and then I can take and go right down the center and end up with pieces that are small enough that they'll cook better, and maybe even put more flavor into the spaghetti sauce. So I like the peppers cooked a little bit, but I'd rather not cook my onions as much. So what I'll typically do is whenever I'm making something like this, put the peppers in first, because I like my onions cooked kind of rare, so they're not super soft. Huh. I thought I cut these in half, but I either didn't or... Okay, we'll let that simmer a little bit. And then I'm going to cut up just another half an onion. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot one ingredient. So I'll put this back in the refrigerator and I'll use this half of the onion for something else later. You know what? I'm not going to cut that yet. Next I'm going to cut this is green pepper. It's not a hot pepper, it's called a sweet pepper. And it just has very good flavor, especially in soups and sauces. So the ingredient that I almost forgot, I'm going to grab it right now, even though I'm not going to put it in yet. It's mushrooms. Okay. At least I think I have some. Yep. Nope. Doggone it. I don't have any mushrooms. That's too bad. Let me double check in here, though. In case they fell in here or something. Nope. I could have sworn I had mushrooms. No, I don't carry enough food for a year. I carry enough food for about a week. Because I will be in rivers and lakes and bays and the Great Lakes and maybe a little bit in the Gulf of Mexico on my trip. But I will always be able to, I need to go to a marina, a place where you can park your boat overnight. I need to go to a marina at least once a week just to fill up on gas, water. Sometimes I'll need to charge some of my batteries, take a shower. But I also, when I park at a marina, which is almost like a hotel on the road, sort of, except you're sleeping in your boat, and you tie up to their dock, and but then I can go to a grocery store. So I'll keep, I'll have some food in here, enough food to last a week. Now, like what I'm making right now, it's going to be good for at least 2 meals, maybe 3. I'm going to turn the heat down on this to the lowest setting because the meat is browned. So now all I'm doing is kind of like cooking the peppers, the jalapeno peppers and the sweet peppers. just to get them a little bit soft. So, yeah. So, my wife works at a company that's owned by somebody from India, and there's a lot of people working there that are from India. So, and sometimes she'll have food at work and then bring it home after. So I do end up eating quite a bit of Indian food, but I don't really know what it is when I'm eating it. I don't even know what it is half the time. I like it. But yes, I'll bet you these ingredients are much different. I do like traveling. I don't really, I am, for my job, I was in sales for a while, and I also, for my job, I had to travel a lot. And I'm retired now, and I traveled by plane most of the time, but then part of the time I actually traveled using a great big motorhome. And I traveled all over the United States in this motorhome. And, well, I'm really struggling cutting this onion. I'm not doing a very good job. So, I have traveled so much in my life that I don't care to travel by plane anymore, and I don't care to travel by car. But I've never traveled much with a boat. So it's still fresh for me, still exciting. It's different. So I am looking forward to traveling in my boat, but I'm not looking forward to traveling by airplane or car. Man, I am struggling cutting this onion. Part of the reason is there's not enough room on this plate, and it's hard to cut something on a plate. It's not like cutting it on a wood cutting board. You know what I mean? All right, so this is just crazy. I'm going to push all of this in here. I need room. Ow. Put my hand on the side of the pan. It's hot. Okay. Now let's see if I can do a little better with this. Ow. Almost cut myself. What a mess. Okay. That I'm going to put in the garbage. I'm pretty good at cooking. Because I'm retired, when I'm at home, I do all the cooking because my wife comes home from work very late and she's tired. So I cook almost every day when I'm home. And of course, when I'm in the boat, I cook a lot. I really don't care to go out to eat. It's too expensive. I much rather cook my own food. Do you go out to eat much? Okay, let's let that heat up a little bit. Sure do wish I had some mushrooms. Now, what else do I got in here? This is my red sauce that I'm going to put on it. Oh, okay, so you're just learning how to cook. My mom did a lot of cooking at home, and she was very good at cooking a meal without it costing very much money. She would buy relatively cheap ingredients, and then always she could cook up a meal that didn't cost very much money. So she always loved these cheese raviolis. You want to see see this is actually this one is, these aren't cheese raviolis, they're Italian sausage raviolis. So this is like a pasta. It's sausage covered with pasta. This is what they look like. So that's dough, pasta, covering a piece of sausage inside. So I'm going to have a lot of sausage. But they make these with cheese inside of them also, and that's what I thought I bought, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, patience is good. I generally cook things. Some people, like my wife, when she cooks, she always has the heat on the stove turned way up. And I think it's because she cooked in restaurants, and in restaurants you have to cook things rapidly because people are waiting. So she cooks with really hot heat. So yeah, so you know what? I don't know that. I mean, if you wanted to be a gourmet chef, well, then it would be good to take some cooking lessons. But for cooking for yourself, I don't even think you need lessons. So YouTube is perfect, and you know, you just learn by making mistakes. So let this cook a little bit. Now the sausage has a little bit of grease, you know. Some people like to drain the grease off. I mean, there wasn't a lot of grease anyway, because there's not a lot of fat in this. But I always, if it's not too much grease, I leave it in there, and then I pour the vegetables in, and the vegetables kind of soak it up. So what happened here? The checkers cam. You can't see checkers though. There you go. Now you can see checkers. And my screen that I have in the center here that's showing the fish behind the boat, every once in a while it will minimize, and that's why it disappeared. If it does that again, let me know. Are you going to school today? No, it's nighttime where you're at. What are you doing there, buddy? I wonder if I can just dump these noodles in here. Midnight. Do you have to study every night? You're still going to school, right? So I can turn this camera around. Oh, you completed your bachelor's degree. Good job. Okay. Wow, that's great. What's your master's degree going to be in? What subject? You know what? I'm going to try something different. I'm just going to dump these raviolis right in here. Oh boy. This might be a bad idea. I'm putting this red sauce on top. That's going to really dirty my pan up. Business admin. I remember that. You told me that once before, a long time ago. So I didn't get a master's degree, but my bachelor's degree was business management. And then I had a minor in marketing. But I didn't go for the master's degree. Okay, I'm going to move this camera over here and just put it like that. See how that looks. Not too good, because Checkers went back. And he's laying in the back of the boat back there. That's what I could do, is show you the boat. Let's take this camera here. And there's the back. That's where we sleep back there. Well, it's too dark back there. Too dark to see. Okay. That's the front. That's Checkers' cage there that he goes in when I have to put him in there when he's full of mud. And then I have his water and his food in there. And then right to the side, I don't know if you can see that, that's where he goes potty on the green grass in the round container. Oh, really? That's too bad. Are you feeling better now? This may turn out to be a really bad idea. My pan's too small for this approach to making this. So I'm just going to have to stir it a lot. Okay, so my wife is going to be going to India. Later this year. So it's the hot sun right now outside, so there's not very many fish. If I was doing this at night, we'd be seeing a lot more fish in the water. There's a couple big ones swimming through. Good job on your grades. I worked really hard. I didn't go to college until I was 50 years old, and I was working a full-time job and going to college at full-time also. But my college was online, so I could work during my lunchtime at work. When I was traveling, like flying on an airplane, I was always doing schoolwork. Weekends, I could do schoolwork all weekend long. And so I was a very, like a fanatic. No, I won't be able to join my wife going to India. The only way I could is if the owner of the company decided to send both of us. He did offer or promise to send both of us to Hawaii for a vacation because my wife has done some really good things for him. That's a good idea. I even though I don't like to travel by plane anymore, I've traveled all over the world, but I've never been to India. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I'm going to talk to my wife about that, so that if he ever brings up the trip to Hawaii again, then she could say, well, that'd be very nice, but maybe instead of sending us both to Hawaii, would you be willing to pay for my husband to come with me to India? That's a great idea. Yeah, I worked really hard in my occupation. I worked harder than the average person, for sure. If there was 10 people, I would pretty typically be, when it comes to working hard, work ethic, I would pretty typically be number one, if not number two. So this right here is the refrigerator, and this is the freezer, and then this is the refrigerator. And then this is, this boat came with an alcohol burning stove that was inside of this galvanized metal casing here. So I took the alcohol stove out, and I got a relatively cheap Sierra Chinese induction cooktop. So it's one burner. It doesn't use very much electricity, because sometimes I'm out and I'll be running this off of my batteries. Okay, this is starting to cooked down a little bit so it's not sticking up out of the pan anymore. I have the heat pretty low. I could turn this heat up and cook this a lot faster, but the raviolis are frozen. So the proper way to do this is to cook the raviolis in water, to boil them in water, drain the water out, and then put the raviolis in with the sauce. So I just thought I'd try it once by just dumping the raviolis in the sauce. Yes, I would say I can tell you a story. The company that I worked for one company for 40 years, and then I left that company and I worked at a second company for 10 years. But the company that I worked at for 40 years, I started with that company as the janitor, the guy who sweeps the floor. And I was 17 years old. And when I left that company 40 years later, I was the general manager. And when I think back, I don't remember everything I did, of course. But when I think back, one of the more best memories is from a period of time where the company almost went out of business. We went from 150 people working at the company, we went down to 20. It was almost out of business. And we didn't have any customers. The owner of the company said he was closing the business, and he had told everybody that. And then after that, we talked him into letting us try, because now we're down to 20 people, and we saved the best of the 150 people. We saved the best 20. So now we had a really, really good team. So we talked him into letting us continue to try to save the business. And it took about 2 years. Well, I think it was about 3 years. And we were back up to the size that we were before the company started going out of business. It was a very, very tough time. It was extremely difficult, but it's one of my best memories, because for one thing, we were successful, and the relationships, those 20 people that were left that turned the company around and had it grow again. We were a $50 million a year company. That's a pretty big company with 150 people. And it took us about 3 years to go from zero, almost out of business, no customers, no contracts, no business, to grow it back up to where it was before that. And it's a very, very pleasant memory for me. But it was very, very difficult. So when you have hardships, just understand they're temporary. You'll be able to recover. Life will be good again. And keep like a long view. Don't worry about the short-term stuff as much, because over time you'll be successful. Okay. I can put this away. I don't need this after all. And yes, I did. When I was a kid, one of my friends and I used to play farming, and we had little plastic horses and cows and chickens, little toy farm animals. And we used to go outside and play with those little animals in the dirt, in our sand pile. And so I don't know if that made it, if that was the reason, but when I was about 50 years old, my wife and I bought a farm. Well, we actually bought a house in the wilderness. And then we converted it to in the U.S. they call it a hobby farm, which means it's a small farm. It's not really for business or just producing animals and meat and vegetables for yourself to eat. So we had a farm for 10 years. And then when I moved down, that was up in Michigan. Now that I'm down in Texas, I do a lot of gardening. I have gardens in my backyard. None of the gardens are in the ground though. They're all in great big barrels. So I do a lot of vertical growing of vegetables. So that's one thing. I can't think of anything else. I didn't think much when I was a kid about what kind of a job I wanted to have. I didn't think about that at all, really. Did you? Do you think about that when you were younger, or even now? So this is my water filter right here. I pour the water in the top, and then it has filters in it, and then the water comes out the bottom. And then I put it in my cup, and then I put it in the freezer because it's so hot here. There's a big fish out there. So I'll stand off the back of the boat sometimes and I'll watch those fish, and then I'll cast lures from my fishing pole out there trying to catch them. So let's get a fork. That's a plastic one. There we go. Got a fork. let's turn this camera down. So this is my steering wheel for iRacing. So at night I'll put iRacing up on the screen and race. I wonder if these things are pre-cooked or not. If they're not, Oh yeah, these got to be cooked. Yeah, bad idea. The raviolis have sausage inside of them, and I'll usually do this with cheese raviolis because they don't really need to cook that much. But these are sausage raviolis, so I'm going to have to cook this a lot longer than I thought. That's a mess there. I'm going to have to turn it back up to 4. Yeah, that's a fish in the camera for sure. There's a big one there. Now this, so if you look to the left, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. Okay, so on the top you can see a scale and there's a 0. That's right at the back of my boat. That's where the transducer for the scope is located. So what we're looking at is it's only a 5-inch wide patch and we're looking straight back. So what you're seeing sometimes is the fish. So that if a fish is going across this way, you won't see it, and then it hits the 5-inch wide beam, and you'll see it swim right through. That's why they disappear a lot. So, okay, so now we're looking back 36 feet. And that's a big ball of bait fish, like small minnows, swimming in a great big ball. And you can see the bottom of the lake. The water is about 11 feet deep. If you look at the numbers on the left side of the screen, that's the, oh, you can't see them. Okay. Huh. Okay. There we go. Okay, so here, let me change views. Let's go to this view. Okay, so now you're seeing the entire picture. So we're looking 19 feet behind the boat, that's from left to right, And then the water is 11 feet deep, and you can see the scale on the left side of the screen is the depth of the water. So we're also, where the 0 is up on the top of the screen, that's right at the back of the boat. So that scope is looking forward, how many feet? It's looking forward 5 feet. So really, from the back of the boat towards me, 5 feet. So right here is about where that ends. The left side of the screen is about right here underneath the boat. Let's create a new view. We'll use, here's how you create a new view. Get rid of a couple of views that we're not using. So now we'll add a new view, and we're going to do, this is called the news view. So we'll do this one and this one, and then where is it? Well, that didn't work very good. I know what I did. I did that wrong. So let's go here, edit, edit. Okay, so now reselect the screens. I need to select this as A and this as B, I believe. Nope. We'll select this as A and this as B. There we go. Done. And we'll go. So now, checkers isn't in the checkers cam anyway, so there's no sense in showing that. So now you can see the fish and my interior cooking cam. Okay, good night. Good night, Badaranth. Badarinth. Badranith. Badranath. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping. What time is it? 2 o'clock.
Battery not 475. You can call me Badri.
Badri.
Battery not 475.
Thanks.
You can call me Badri. Battery not 475. Have a great day, sir.
Good night.
Battery not 475.
Badri. I remember now.
Cheap viewers on streambo.com, remove the space, at NDSFWMZZ. Rusted Mignonette.
Okay.
Remove the space at NDSFWMZZ.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, well, I'm testing something right now. I'm only using Starlink. And I just saw a little glitch. What are all them? Those must be air bubbles coming up. Anybody know what those are? So I can taste the jalapenos, or I mean, I can feel the jalapeno heat. can't say that I can actually taste it. Miss my mouth. Pretty good. It's got lots of onions. It's got Italian sausage. It's got green pepper and onions. Now, I usually like to have mushrooms in here, but it's the first time I've made this in my new pan, and it didn't work out very good. So what I'll do next time is I'll fry the meat and the vegetables in the big frying pan, or the bigger frying pan, and then I'll boil the raviolis like you're supposed to in the round pan, and then I'll be able to mix them together. I can actually mix them right on my plate. That way I'll have I'll have room for a can of mushrooms. I'm going to try to make that view a little better for the there we go. Yeah. That's better. When Badry was on, it wasn't telling me where he was coming from. I'm on Twitch right now. Where's, okay, right there. Twitch. So he was on Twitch. When I'm in YouTube, it tells me okay, that's it. So when I'm on YouTube, it tells me that somebody's messaging from Twitch. If I go back to Twitch, it doesn't tell me where it's coming from. So therefore, when it doesn't tell you where it's coming from, then you know it's on whatever platform you're looking at. So now let's go to Kick, and it tells me he was from Twitch. So let's do a test right here. Test. Okay, so that's coming, that's on Kick.
Voter live.
And you don't see anything. Okay, so now we'll go test over here. That's telling me it came from Kick. That's perfect. Now we'll do it here in YouTube, and it doesn't tell me where it's coming from. So now we'll go over to Twitch and do it. Okay, so now it tells me it's coming from Kick. It tells me it's coming from YouTube, but it doesn't say anything right now because we're on Twitch. We messaged from Twitch and we're on Twitch. That's pretty cool. You want some water? Let's go and try and get you some water. Okay, come on. Here, I know what we'll do. Let me give you some of my food. There you go. Okay, come on. Good boy. Let's see how that looks. You can kind of see Checkers in there, huh? He's in his little cage. Let me turn the light on. See how much, is that any better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. We'll leave the Checkers cam on for a little while. Did you get some water? Did you get some water?
Test. Test. Test.
Location.
Test. 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 Test.
Location. Location.
Test. 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 All right. All right.
Where the hell is the mic on this thing? Okay. All right. So. Let's check. Want some water? So I got that. This can go back here. figure out how to get the mic to work on this thing. Test. Hot. Sure look hot. Now, let's put that. Now what happened to that? There we go. Okay, we're going to put the phone in here. Zip that up. And there you go, buddy. Wait for me now. Wait for me. Now, right. Lucia. Sure, make a suggestion. Can you hear me okay? Test, test. Lucia, James. Suggest a way. Okay, let's go out here. See what happened to the chart plotter. Everything looks good there. I gotta feed my plants. Putting vegetable waste in my little compost holder. Okay, now can't figure out why I'm not connected to my chart plotter. Okay, it's on. I don't know, James. I don't have money to spend. So I lost connection to my chart plotter. So might as well troubleshoot that. Okay. Options, home, settings, communications, wireless, oh, wait, back. Let's go Wi-Fi network. Let's turn it off, turn it back on. What the heck am I hitting on back there? Ah, fuck. There we go. Okay. So that's fixed. Okay. Now, let's do a few things. I'm going to do a test, see how far I can go away from the boat. You want to come for a walk? Go potty? Good boy. Okay. Wait for me. Checkers, wait. Okay. Potty here. Okay. Huh. That's weird. Okay.
Two.
Do you have water? God damn it. Yep, you got water. Test. Test. Okay. I don't know where my other mic is. Oh. Let's have a look around. Okay, that's the rest of the marina over there. That's the main part of the marina. I'm over here in the slums. This is like a there's a peninsula across, that across there is a peninsula. So there's like a sliver of water. This used to be an old creek bed before they flooded this. So the creek was going, either coming or going from the left to the right, I'm not sure which. And then on the other side of that peninsula is another even bigger bay like this. I'd say it's about close to a mile. This little bay here is about a mile long, I would say. So this boat next to me here is like a derelict. I'm going to be moving. For one thing, my dock is a piece of shit. See that? You can see how it's crooked where it meets the T in the dock there. And they actually have it taped off with the yellow tape. And it's been like that for 2 weeks and they haven't fixed it. I've been here for a month. So what is going on with this thing? I don't know why that's happening. There's a big ball of fish. And then there's about 3 boats. There's 4 boats to the end of the dock here. Those are some big apartment buildings, or a big apartment building. One thing that's unique about that apartment building is each one of those rectangles is a porch, and they gotta be at least 12 to 16 feet, maybe more, maybe even 20.
Noticed you
long.
are streaming some great content. However, you need more followers and views to boost your engagement and achieve verification or partnership status within a month. I can help you get 25 subscribers within 3 days, pushing you closer to earn $1,000 monthly. Feel free to contact me for more info. My Discord username is BroadcastBoost5.
Where's that coming from? That's weird. Oh, pissed me off. Had that happen before where it keeps losing. Look at that shit. What if it's too hot?
2.
Okay, well that's not working out for me. Well, I'm done with that shit. I think I'm gonna sign off. Nobody's on anyway. And I be having some trouble here.